Hello, folks. Two Sheds Gabby here. I'm just getting set up. It's almost 11 o'clock at night. My wife's in bed. And I decided to just go ahead and get my table set up. I'm going to pop open this box, sealed box, that I picked up this last week. Hopefully, it's not a box of brand new coins. And I'm just going to get a couple of rows in. And then I'll finish up tomorrow. Oh, yeah, we're good to go. All right. So, you know what I always look for. I'm hoping for 3 pounds of copper and 10 wheat pennies. Anything else that's just fun, foreign coins, a couple of gold coins, anything like that would. Let's go ahead and get this first couple rolls opened up, and I think I'm going to hit the sack. I'm in the first row, and check out this 1974. A little bit of a fingerprint look over here, but man, what a fine looking coin. The detailed rim, that's a deep rim. Oh man. I'll put this one in my very fine coppers for sure. Cool. Here in the fourth row is a Canadian, one of the younger queens. One of the younger queen, not plural queens. 1963, 98% copper. I like those. Copper's been pretty good. This is the fourth row, and the first three, well, the first row didn't have the 9, but the next two was well over. So that's a good sign. I've been trying to see if they have made a determination on the 2026 penny design, and they still have not decided. They're still looking at the dual date, and may or may not have a bell on it. I hope they do. I like the bell. But there's still a few different designs they're considering, and I guess they could even, trash all those and get a whole nother one if they wanted to. But here's the designs that they still have proposed out there. And according to what I just looked up, this still seems to be the case. And it is still said that there will be 2026 pennies, and they will end production early in 2026 because the last batch of planchets have already been purchased. Many of them are being used for the 2025 pennies. And so whatever's left, that's what they'll use. I imagine they'll still be making commemorative things, but as far as circulated, it won't last long into 2026. Sure, it's going to be interesting to see how many they end up making. Here in the sixth row, I come to my first Wheatie. It's a 1941 Denver. The old wheat cent. Cool beans. I've talked about it a while back, but we had lots of issues with. I had a tax lady for many years up in Indiana, and she did a great job. She was really reasonable in price, but she just fell off the face of the earth. I don't know what happened to her. We tried to get a hold of her, and taxes been done late, 82. And so I was in charge of taking care of all the paperwork and taxes and stuff for my cousin that passed, and my attorney recommended this guy to do the taxes, so I had him do it. And I waited to see how much he was going to charge for that, and it was reasonable. It was okay. So I asked him if he could do our personal taxes, and he goes, "Yeah, okay." I gave them to him way early. It was like in February. When you say, "Can you do my taxes?" you kind of assume that means in time. They didn't get them done till really late, and then they charged me way higher than what they charged me for the estate taxes. I couldn't understand that. I was so frustrated. And then to boot all that, they did it wrong. We get a notification from the federal government that they saw errors in it, but thankfully, it was to our good. And we got, oh, let me pull this out. And we got a check for $322. At least it was in our favor. All right. That's the copper. That's pretty good for that row. Right here at the end of the 8th row, I find wheat penny number 2, 1953 Denver. I'm going to do 2 more rows tonight, and then I am going to go to bed, and I'll try to get it picked all back up tomorrow. I'm finished with 10 rows now. I did come across this 2009. It's in pretty good shape. We'll keep this one, Philadelphia. And look how nice looking this newer Canadian is. Golly. That's an amazing shape. Wow. Little bit of scuffing on the rim, I guess, but that coin is just about in perfect condition other than that. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen one that good. See, there's a little bit of something on the rim there. But that's amazing. Good night, folks. Good morning, folks. Two Sheds back. It is about 9:45. I'm on my second cup of coffee. This is the 5th row I've been through. The copper's been good, but I haven't found any wheat pennies or anything yet. I did just come across another Canadian copper. I hope we can see the dates good. There's a lot of glare coming in the window, so I turned the shade up. There's a 1979. Copper, I think, is going quite well. We'll just wait and see at the end. $82. I know everybody has, different systems and all, and I don't claim to be the most organized collector out there, but when I finish a box of pennies or nickels, sometimes I'll just take all the things I want to keep and just drop them in this cup. I've got wheat pennies and different things in here that I've got to sort through here pretty soon. Here's what I put a lot of things in right here. Let me get some stuff out of the way. And so as I go through stuff, I've got all these tubes here. And like this is for my Canadian 59 through 73. This is the 12-sided 82 through 96. When I get a really super fine wheat penny, 2009 memorials. I've got nickels here. This is my 1950s nickels I keep. 1950s wheat pennies. Extra fine memorials. So I've got the nickels and the pennies. There's another I guess I got 2 2009s going. That's me. 2024 P nickels. 2025 nickels. I'm keeping those until I see what happens next year. Even if I find an oddball nickel or penny, just something different, I'll just stick those in here until I decide to do something. There's that gold nickel in there. Until I decide to do something else with them at some other point. And so when I fill these up, then I'll roll them up or put them in a 2x2 or something. I've got these out here. I've got penny rolls and nickel rolls. And I've got a box, like for wheat pennies, rolls and rolls of wheat pennies that I put the wheat pennies in. And I've got a box for my older nickels, my 40s or 50s, for my 38 and 39, which I don't get a lot of rolls of those. But then I'll put a box in for that. And so I'll just kind of keep these going until I fill up a few rolls, and then I'll put them in their respective boxes. And that's just kind of my madness. This one here is just buffalo nickels I found this year, I guess. And some of them are dated and some of them ain't. So when I go pull these out eventually, The non-dated ones, I'll just put in a tube. I'll just put in a nickel row. And the dated ones, I might put in 2x2s or something like that. Anyway, that's kind of my madness. Back to the action. Oh, I'm going to have to quit and take a phone call. Sorry about that. Okay, guys, I am back. That was my son calling. He's going to come visit us this weekend. And we talked for a good while, just chit-chat. And I went through a couple of rolls while we were talking. And I did find another 2009 in pretty good condition. The front ain't as good, but the back's pretty nice. I'll put that one away. And also another really nice, this is 1975. It's not perfect, but it's pretty doggone good. So I'll put that in that roll with my extra fine memorial coppers. Not as good as the other one I kept. But then I started this as the 21st roll. And look at this. It is a zinc 2014, but is it coated or is it not? Does it not have the copper coating? I weighed it. It is 2.5, so it's not weighing under. But I don't know what's going on here. What do y'all think? If you know what this is, it looks to me like it didn't get a copper coating, but I don't know for sure. Let me know in the comments if you know what this is. I'd sure like to. This will definitely go in my oddball row for sure, if nothing else. Yeah, well, look, 82. Looking forward to our son coming down. And he brings his son, so it's our son and our grandson coming down. Hang out for a few days. And he's going to tune up my riding lawnmower. It's needing new plugs or something. Every time we turn it off, you get a big backfire. I stopped it the other day, and it's really loud. And so I put my hands over my ears for a few seconds when I turned it off. And it's like, oh, it didn't do it this time. And as soon as I pulled my hand away, pow! It's like, thanks a lot. Oh. Last few rolls did not get the 9 that I need for my 3-pound average. But I've gotten a few rolls that have, one roll actually had 17 in it. And I've had several rolls that had 12 or 13. So hopefully I'm still in the 3-pound range. Oh, I'm still putting a few 24Ds because I got a big old container of 24 Philadelphia plain. And so I'm just going to match them up with Ds until I decide anything else I might want to do with them. I'm getting just enough glare that I can't hardly see the dates from my angle. I may have to try to change my angle a little bit. I don't know if that's better or not. I don't think it is. Copper. Well, this is, like I said, the 21st row in so the first set of 10, I got 2 wheat pennies. And if you get 2 for every 10, then you get your 10 wheat pennies. But I got none the second 10, so that's not good for my 10 unless, the next 10 gets 4. Oh, there is another 2009. That looks pretty good too. Well, that's better than the last one I found. I forgot to mention, in my box of tubes up here, I also have my tube for S Mint Memorial Coppers, and I just came across a 74S. And I admit that I don't always keep an eye out for them, but when I do, I just grab it and I toss them in there. Just put some more of those aside. In the 23rd roll, I got a little bit, I got a design of the 2009 different than the other 3 I found, and this one is close. I guess I'll keep this one. Anything any worse than this, and I won't keep it. This one's not a beauty, but it's not too bad. So I'll stick that over there. But when I find them any worse than that, I definitely don't keep them anymore. I've got quite a few rolls of them. And I wish I'd have kept more of them. When I first started hearing about the 2009, I guess that's pretty early in my penny hoarding days, I came across a box of them. It wasn't all exclusively to the 2009s, but it was half, and they were like mint condition. And I thought, wow, that's really neat. And I saved a few rolls of them, and then I let them go because I didn't realize I should have kept them all. And now I'm wishing that I had of. But anyway, I have put together quite a few rolls since then. 24th roll now in the box, and here is a Canadian copper, my third Canadian copper. This one is the newer 12-sided, 1988. By the time they finished making the 12-sided copper, they had already updated the Queen photo to a version of her when she was a little bit older. You can see this is when she was, is that one the same? Seems like, yeah, this is it right here. This is when she was pretty young. And then it updated to this one, which is the same as this one. But then a couple years after that, they went to more of that, more like that one. Third copper Canadian. That's pretty nice, but we'll just put it in with my hoard. I mentioned in the last 82 video, my nickel video, about the Kraken app for trading cryptocurrency and stocks and stuff like that. I wanted to show you this. This is a really neat feature. It's super cool. Every day you can basically you spin this wheel is what you're doing, and it's going around, and it'll stop on like Dogecoin or USD or Solano or whatever, and it'll actually give you X amount of whatever it stops on. In my first day, it was like a quarter of USD. But if you look at this picture, you can see that I've done it for 7 days, and there's $11.25 that they've given me. And every day you get to do this, once a day. And if you notice there, it says on the last spin, this morning was my best one. I got $5 free of Dogecoin. And so I did the math. And which I'm sure it won't remain this way, if you do that exact $11.25 every 7 days, man, that would be $48 a month that they're giving you. That's sweet. I could, if I'm into like Bitcoin or something, I could just trade it all in for whatever it is I'm really into, or I can just keep it in the condition that it is, or I can cash it out. It's yours to do what you want with. And I think it's really cool. I've got crypto.com, and they've got a little thing where every day you click on this button, they give you a point, and it ends up being worth like almost a penny. It used to be more, but now it's worth like a penny a day. But I do it anyway because I usually check it out every day, so I take advantage of it. But it's not near as good as this. That looks like a wheat penny. It's not a very good one, but it is wheat penny number 3. Does that say 1940? I think it says. I believe so. Wheatie number 3, almost halfway through the box. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that. If it's something you think you might be interested, I'll put another link to it down below, and you guys do what you want with it. I think it's cool. I think it's fun, but it's something I'm into, and it might not be anything you're into. That on my wall there is my Helium miner with my little antenna on top of it. I'm going to raise it up to there here this week because it needs a little bit more height, I believe. when I first ordered this crazy thing, because I got into crypto a few years back, and Helium was kind of doing good, and and this is a Bobcat Helium miner, and man, it was kicking it. It was rocking. It was bringing in a lot, for the money. It was like $480 or something like that, and but it was, you had to be on a waiting list. It took me like 8 or 9 months or better to get the stupid thing. And I'm telling you, the month before or the month I got it, they changed their whole platform to a whole new platform. And then these miners dropped down to doing nearly nothing. I'm like, oh, great timing for me. And so it was earning like a penny a day for a long time. And then all of a sudden it got to where it was making like 25, 30 cents a day. It's like, well, I'll eventually get my money back. But here recently it's dropped back to like making 8 or 9 cents a day in Helium. It pays in Helium. And it's pretty frustrating. So I'm hoping if I get a little bit more height, I might get it back up to 15 or 20. So I'm not, it's like costs nothing to run it. It's just, it uses almost no electricity. So I've got it. I'm gonna use it. So every so many months I'll get it up to $10, and then I'll just transfer it over and I'll convert it into whatever cryptocurrency that I'm into at the time or whatever. But anyway, that was a disappointment for me. Well, right here at the very end, practically, of the 25th row, last row in the first half, I found my fifth 2009. 4 of them are this design right here. And it's pretty good. Not bad at all. Oh, he's got a meteor about to hit him in the head. And I found another 74S that I'll put in my little tube, I guess. And then we move into the second half of the box. Here is the first row in the second half of the box, and Wheat Penny number 4, 1950 Denver. Very nice. Number 4. Today, like I said, is Wednesday, and this is our fasting day. We're trying to do this every week now. I know that there'll be weeks that things will happen, but we basically, what we do is we go from like 7 p.m. Tuesday night, and then we don't eat anything again, 82, until Thursday at lunch. So it's about 40 hours, give or take, and give our bodies a chance to go through everything that you may have eaten. And once you go, they say like past 30 hours, something like that, your body actually starts, after it's cleaned out, everything, and your body is working. When it's processing food, it's working. And when it can quit working and finish all of that, then your body starts doing the other stuff. It starts repairing things. And we try to get, every week, a few hours of that repair time in. Going longer is better, but at least we're getting our 40 hours a week. This is the second row now, and here's another 2009. And it's not bad either. So that's way more than I've been getting recently on the 2009s. Oh, nice. Cool beans. That is number 5. Hey, look, it's one of those rare 1958 Ds. It's still fun to find wheat pennies, though. Cool. Almost at the end of the row. I just weighed a 1983. If I get a 1983, it's, man, that just looks like copper. I'll weigh it, but to no avail. This is the third row, and I don't have anything in particular to show you. I just wanted to tell you, I get these weird messages sometimes, and I just got a text message from a phone number that's not in my area. I have no idea where it's from. And it says, can you be at my office this afternoon? So I just wrote back and said, yes, I'll be there at noon. Can you have lunch ready for us? I haven't heard back from him yet, but I'm sure they're going to start some. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the wrong person. What's your name? I get that kind of nonsense too often. The last time that happened, I said something to them, and they said, "What's your name?" And I said, "My name is Nemo," which means nobody. And they, "Oh, Nemo, that's a nice name." Oh, so I just quit. Oh, the scam stuff. And it's just going to get worse with all the AI. It's going to be here pretty soon that there's no point of even looking at pictures or anything on the internet because you won't know if it's real or not. You can still kind of sort of tell because the mouth isn't quite meeting, with the words you're hearing, or if you're just looking at a photo, you can kind of, 6 toes instead of five or whatever. But it's going to get better and better and better to the point where they're going to have politicians saying crazy stuff. And I mean, they're already doing it, but you can tell now. But in the future, you ain't going to be able to tell. And it's going to get ridiculous. And so you need to learn to just not trust anything, like that. It's going to get weird, I'm telling you. I am Two Sheds Gabby, and you know that you can always trust me. So while I'm going through pennies, I come to a penny like this. I just, I just can't see the date. I could pick it up and examine it, but I got the little scale right here, so I'll just take pennies like this that I can't see a date, throw it on the scale, turn it on, throw it on the scale, and then weigh it. And this one happens to be zinc. But while the scale is on, for like 10 seconds or whatever before it goes off, if I come to an 82, then I'll just weigh it real quick. And if it's copper, I'll throw it in the copper. Otherwise, if the scale goes off, I'll probably just throw it into my little 82 jar. I am now in the 7th row in the second half of the box. Here is a 1969. This is my 4th Canadian copper so far in this box. My wife and I are reading a pretty cool book right now. Let me show it to you here. How We Got the Bible. And it's really cool. It talks all about over the centuries, the fragments and partial parts and things that all came together over the centuries and how they became understood as the Bible as we know it today. It's super fascinating. It talks about the apocryphal books that are referred to from time to time, and while they're not actually part of considered the canon or New or Old Testament, and there's good reason for it. They have some good writings, but they have good reason why they're not part of the Bible. Lots of them are known to be fictitious anyway. Even if they're good writing, they're fictitious in its manner. But not all of it is. There's no one would try to say that there's not good information in some of these books. They're just not. There's lots of evidence, and you have to read all about the evidences of why they're not considered the Bible, and it's a lot of good evidence. For one, Jesus or the apostles never referred to one of them. That's pretty good evidence right there, because almost all the Old Testaments were referred to by Jesus or the apostles. And we're almost finished with it. Man, it's almost noon. I don't have any big plans for today. I've got a few songs to pick out. I don't have Bible class tonight, like our normal Wednesday. The first Wednesday we have our little singing, and that's what I'll pick out a few songs here in a little while for that. And that one song that I'm gonna talk about. I found the older Sacred Selections version, and I'm gonna point out the differences. No big deal. I haven't showed you all this lately. This is basically what I'm working on this year for my copper. I got these 8 boxes, 15 pounds each, 120 pounds. And I'm just like less than a pound away from this, filling this one up, making 135 pounds. I still have my 500 pounds put away in my closet. And some months back, I did sell about 100 pounds. If you're watching and you remember what month it was that I sold it, if you could remind me. If you don't remember, that's okay too. If you do remind me, I'll mention it in another video. But this is where I'm at. I'm just putting it, just plugging away, keep stacking my copper, and I'll occasionally sell a little bit, but I'm definitely putting away more than I'm selling. Anyway, back to the coins. In the 11th row now, here is my second 12-sided Canadian copper and my 5th Canadian copper in total. Speaking of scam stuff, there was a car, a person that my brother knew, a car that looked like she had posted for sale, and I was interested in it because it was a really good deal. And it turned out that it's a scam. I even wrote to her in private message, and she wrote back, but it's bizarre. I mean, these scammers are getting good. I don't even know if there's a car out there at all, but the listing is gone now, so I don't know. Now in the 13th row in the second half, here is a 1958D, wheat penny number 6. That's my second 58D, but it's still a wheat penny. And that's what I like finding, those guys right there. We got 12 rows to go. I don't know if we'll get our 10, but we're at 6 now. I still do hope to get 82, 3 pounds of copper. After this row, guys, just 9 rows to go. Here is another Canadian copper. Looks like it might be an old one. Be cool if it was the 50s. Not 62, still cool. I'm getting more of the copper Canadians than I have been recently. I used to get this amount on a real regular basis, but not so much lately. And the wheat pennies, we're still at, what are we at, 6? 7, we're at 6. Haven't gotten any more. The copper still seems, I feel pretty good that I'm going to get my 3 pounds, I think. I will weigh that. My scale ain't on. I'm sure it's zinc. Yeah, usually if you can't see the date, it's because it's the new, cheaper pressed coins, and you can't tell if the slightest little thing happens to them. Sometimes you get a penny that's just beat up or what up, and it's copper, but another zinc. Now with 6 rows to go in the box, I'm in the second half, of course. Here is another 2009. It's in pretty nice condition. We'll stick this one aside. Yeah, it's pretty good. That one's a Denver. Pretty cool. I hope we get 1 or 2 more wheats anyway. It'd be nice, but if I don't, I still hope I get my 3 pounds of copper anyway. I have a question for you guys. Here's a picture of a YouTube guy. I think he's an ex-military guy, 82. And he tells stories. And his name is Mr. Ballin Shorts, or at least that's what this is called. Hey, I see a Canadian. Mr. Ballin Shorts. Let me see, it's B-A-L-L-E-N. He tells great stories, guys. If you haven't already seen him, check him out. Yeah, really cool. I like his stories. I don't like every single one a whole lot, but overall, I really like them. And if you end up liking them and watching them, don't quit watching me. But yeah, tell him I sent you. That'll be fun. He has some pretty cool, and they're recent all the way back to, man, even back in like the 1800s, just stories he researches and retells. I think they're really neat. And I've never seen be political or anything like that. He just tells stories, you know. He does a pretty good job at it. I think I'm going to go fix me another hot liquid drink. This is what I'll be drinking, except that when I went in a few minutes ago and turned the teapot on to heat the water up and walked away, I didn't realize it wasn't plugged in. But this is from Paleo Valley. It's got really good stuff in it. Turmeric and ginger and cinnamon. And they say that it tastes great, but it don't. I can tolerate it, but it's not fantastic. But it sure is healthy. So I'm going to drink like a half a cup of this when it gets hot. Well, guys, here is the last row. Haven't been finding a whole lot. I found a 2009 that I won't keep and a Canadian non-copper. So I'll just throw this one in with my zinc. And let's see if anything shows up in the last row here. Just 6 Wheaties, but again, I think the copper is pretty good. There's another 24D. I got maybe a dozen of them. I don't know. I'm getting a glare from something. Let's see if I can adjust this. Here we go. It's better. Last roll. Hopefully we'll get something in this roll, and then I'll weigh my 82s, and then we'll go over to the scale and see if we got 3 pounds of copper to add to it. I'll fill up that one box and then use this box that had the rolls in it to start my next 15-pound box. And then tomorrow it's back to the bank. Got several bags of coins to return, and I've got to pick up my 3 boxes of halves. And I can't remember if I have a box of pennies or a box of nickels or both ordered with it. I usually have something with the $50 every week, and I can't even remember what we agreed on this last week. It may have been both. It may have been the pennies and the nickels, but I'll find out when I get there. Hopefully I'll get some more silver, another silver dollar or two. The last 3 weeks I have been fortunate enough to pick up a silver or two just by random in somebody's teller's cash drawer, because the last 9 boxes of halves has only brought me one 40% silver. So hasn't been great, but I've been lucky to get, I'll have to pull that one back out. That was copper. Let's weigh my 82s now. Okay, guys, the 82s are weighed. Let's see what today's copper is. We got, easily got it. 3 pounds, 7 ounces, somewhere in that vicinity. Very cool. We'll fill up this box, get another 15-pound box closed up, and get another one started.